obsession, and Nikki would use sex to get what she wanted. It saddened Melanie. None of the men who used and discarded her friend knew how much they hurt her. Melanie already dreaded having to lift Nikki out of her cloud of self-doubt and despair in the morning. She didn't understand why Nikki continued to put herself in these situations. She was a sweet girl, a pretty girl, a smart girl, until she found herself in the company of any asshole in the music business. Then she acted as if she'd been lobotomized. With only 10 lobes to utilize, Nikki had to be running low on parts by now. "You are not bailing on me again," Melanie said, still trying to tame her hair. She was looking less like a lightning strike victim already, though her scalp protested each tug. "Gorgeous, my ass, more like ridiculous. I'm not gonna wait for you out in the car while you get laid by some guy who won't remember your name by the time he blows his load." "Of course you're not gonna wait out in the car." Well, at least they agreed on something. Nikki ran her tongue over her teeth and caught Melanie's gaze in the mirror. "You're coming with me." "Oh, no, I'm not. I don't even like musicians. Especially not the tattooed metalhead freaks Nikki lusted after." Nikki had a serious bad boy complex. Maybe her father should have paid more attention to her as a child. "Please." Nikki clasped her hands together in front of her chest and managed to make her already wide blue eyes appear even larger than usual. "Why would you even ask? You know tattooed guys give me the creeps." Nikki shook her head at her. "If you'd take the time to get to know them, you'd recognize how hot they are." Doubtful. Just seeing men with tattoos made Melanie's heart race with fear. Her reaction wasn't intentional. She'd been scared by a group of bikers when she was a teen. Had she been older, she probably would have recognized they were only teasing and meant her no harm. But they terrified her. Her parents had intensified her fear by saying she could have been kidnapped, raped, murdered, or worse. She hadn't even wanted to know what was worse than being raped and murdered. Her 13-year-old mind had associated her parents' warnings with men who looked a certain way. Men like those bikers who'd cornered her in the entryway of an abandoned storefront. As she'd been too afraid to actually look at their faces, all she remembered was their body art and their words. The one with the skull tattoo had told her all the lewd things he wanted to do to her pretty mouth. She hadn't understood what he'd meant at the time, but now that she was older, she knew she'd had a reason to be uneasy and disgusted. One with a barbed wire tattoo around his arm had touched her hair. She'd screamed and they'd laughed at her, but ultimately had left her alone. She knew that tattoos didn't make a person bad, but that incident had left a lasting impression. Attending rock concerts was an exercise in keeping her fear at bay. Unfortunately, going to concerts was Nikki's favorite thing to do, so Melanie's fears got a fairly regular workout. "I don't want to get to know them. I just want to stay away from them." Nikki wrapped an arm around Melanie's shoulders and assessed them in the mirror. "You'll be fine, Mel, I promise. Besides, I need you to help me pull off my ruse." Melanie's inner alarm clanged even louder. "What ruse?" The crowd in the stadium roared with enthusiasm. "Soul Regret set is starting." Nikki scooped her cosmetics and hairbrush into her purse, grabbed Melanie by the wrist, and rushed from the bathroom, nearly knocking a tough-looking biker woman to the floor in her haste. "Watch it, bitch!" "Sorry," Melanie said, as she was yanked into the stadium's causeway, her heels clicking rapidly on the cement. There were many benefits of being friends with Nikki. She was fun, afraid of nothing. Men liked her. So, while they started out at the back of general admission, with several dozen coy looks, a bit of exposed cleavage, and some well-placed hands on the male metalheads in the crowd, Nikki miraculously managed to work her way to the area just in front of the stage without being punched in the face. Melanie was allowed to join her, only because Nikki refused to release her wrist. Along the barrier fence in front of the stage, Melanie purposely positioned herself between two women and turned away from the man hanging over the railing.